Russia's anti-drugs agency is planning to increase the number of rehab centers in the country. But as the government works to combat dependency, critics say some facilities for recovering addicts could be as dangerous as drug abuse itself.
Cutting through the vice grip of drug and alcohol addiction took Mikhail nearly a decade. This 29-year-old was on a collision course with crime and with death. Diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver and hepatitis B and C, Mikhail says God saved and changed his life.
When I came here last year, for the first time in 8 years, I realized the grass was green, birds were singing, and everything was beautiful. I used to take drugs and pills and alcohol at the same time. I was literally a vegetable with no understanding of what was going on around me.
Here is a rehab center run by Cornerstone Church. Days include group chores meant to teach responsibility and Bible and prayer sessions.
Prayer is a fellowship, and we are more likely to become like those we communicate with. If someone talks to fishermen, he is likely to become one too. When someone talks to God, and that's what a prayer is, he becomes a believer, and his life changes.
Not on the schedule here is time with a trained professional. The belief is that the spirit is what needs mending, and that this only comes through God.
Drug use is on the rise in Russia. The official numbers indicate that there are 600,000 addicts, but the federal agency charged with combating this problem puts it at millions more. But there's also an increase in the number of religious rehab centers like this one that are offering non-traditional treatment. But some are referring to them as little more than recruiting centers for religious sects.
The Pentecostal community in Russia is small, but runs several of the nation's growing number of religious rehabs. Critics insist those who seek treatment through these are simply trading one crutch for another.
We're losing people now not because of drugs, but because of destructive cults. Chemical addiction to drugs or alcohol is substituted by group psychological addiction instead. This kind of addiction is stronger and much more serious.
Some experts claim recovering addicts become unable to function outside of the church and sequester themselves, later electing to spread the message to others in new centers. As for Mikhail, he doesn't believe he's part of a cult.
On the contrary, I realized I had been brainwashed all my previous life. People around me had a consumer attitude, but here I have pure feelings and a new vision.
And the desire to run a clinic of his own someday.